कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदा ओ दीप ब्रह्मरूपस्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः ओ दीप ब्रह्मरूपस्वं ज्योतिषां प्रभुरव्ययः आरोग्यं देहि पुत्राश्च यहि स्वच्छामि ते सदा शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः शुभं कुरुत्वं कल्याणम् आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः आरोग्यं धनसम्पदः.
We now invite Mr. P. Rajshekar Reddy Sir, convener Daksha 3.0, to address the gathering.
Photos we just completed. You take.
Very good morning to one and all the dignitaries, esteemed guests and participants. A warm welcome to the a national level techno-cultural fest, and it is one of the flagship event of Anurag University. It's an honor to have you all today as we embark on this exciting journey of innovation and creativity. Daksha 3.0 is an updated version and has truly surpassed expectations with a staggering participation of 255 colleges across the nation. It's a testament to the growing enthusiasm and talents in the field of technology, management, pharmacy, basic sciences, arts and literary. Moreover, with 5,000 plus individuals gracing us with their presence to participate in the various technical, non-technical and cultural events. Daksha 3.0 aimed to add fun with the technology, which made us to design the customized technical events, which includes coding competitions, project expos, ideations, Robo Soccer, Model Expo, Pharma Clash, Data Narratives, Design Dynamo and other prominent events. And we have taken utmost care in designing non-technical events as well, so as to inculcate and improve the cognitive and psychomotor skills. Our fest promises to be a melting pot of ideas, talent and endless possibilities. As we dwell into the myriad of events and activities lined up for these 2 days, I urge each and every one of you to embrace this opportunity to learn, to grow and to connect. Whether you are here to showcase your technical prowess, unleash your artistic flair or simply soak in the vibrant atmosphere, Daksha 3.0 offers something for everyone. Let us seize this moment to celebrate diversity, to foster collaboration and to push the boundaries of what is possible. Together, let's make Daksha 3.0 a memorable and enriching experience for all. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, and we hope everything gets fine and let the festivities begin. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. We now invite Mr. Anurag Palla Sir, Director Strategy and Digital Learning, Anurag University, to address the gathering.
A very good morning to our esteemed guests who have graced us with their presence today, to all of our leaders from Anurag University led by Professor Balaji Utla Sir, all the deans of different schools, various disciplines, and of course the leaders of the dais and of course the rock stars of today's students. So let me not steal your time away from such an eminent personalities who have taken time to come grace you and talk to you. So why do you think that we conduct tech fest or any fest of any kind? Any answers? Why? Huh? New explorations. Any more answers? Connections. We conduct fests, whether it be technical, cultural, any kind of fest, literary, doesn't matter, to remind you how much fun it is to learn. We all enjoyed our schoolings, right? We all enjoyed until 10th or 12th, whichever, until you've gone to Narayana or Chaitanya. We all enjoyed our schooling. Why do you think we enjoyed schooling? Did we not study in our school years? We did. We did much more than what I'm sure what you're doing in your undergraduate program. Because we never had that pressure, or we never had that insane peer pressure or societal pressure that we need to. Learning is just sitting in front of books. We enjoyed our schooling because we connected with our friends. We got to know new things every single year, and we had a lot of fun doing all of this. Am I right? So sometimes, as we are growing up, we also need to remind ourselves that as we grow up, we need to get a little more serious. It cannot be fun always, but at the same time, it need not be serious always. So that's the reason why why we are, the leaders of Anurag University, are taking time, more and more time, to make sure that you do have fun while learning. I know it is really hard to sit in a 60-minute lecture without getting distracted by your Instagram, PUBG, Snapchat, any other apps that I'm still not updated. I know it is really hard. It is really hard for me, even with all the things that I know, all the pressure that I have. It is hard for me to sit through meetings sometimes, unless I'm really, really engaged. So sometimes you need to understand that you have to go through the hard work to see the fruits of your labor. There is just no other way out of it. I understand after 4 years, I don't know how many of you are third years or fourth years right now. Fourth years very less. Fourth years, unless you are part of the crew. Third years, okay, you have one more year, and you have, I know for a fact that you do interact with your alumni or seniors. So please do ask them how the life is once they graduate. I'm sure they will already tell you that they'll not have time to do anything, not to learn, not to do anything, they'll not have time to reach the expectations of their employers or their circumstances. Nothing else. They'll not have time to do anything. So I request each and every single student to make the most while you're inside Anurag University, because this is a safe bubble that we have constructed for your benefit. Once you go into the real world, I would not like to spoil the experience for you. It is also a one-of-a-kind experience, but it is not as forgiving as the circumstances here. So you're free to make mistakes, you're free to do anything that you are here, with, of course, added consequences. But please do know that this is safe space for you, and I would like you to have as much fun as you can have while you're doing our undergraduate program. And thank you. Please make sure that you engage yourself with 100+ events that are happening, that have been organized for your benefit. And thank you for your time. Thank you for giving me the opportunity.
Thank you so much, sir. We now invite Dr. V. Vijayakumara, sir, Dean School of Engineering, Anurag University, to address the gathering.
Respected dignitaries on the dais, Dr. Balaji Utla, the Registrar of Anurag University, and today's chief guest, Dr. Prakash Chauhan, Director, NRSA, and the guest of honor, Shri Chinta Subramaniam, Senior Director, Engagement, Delivery Partner, Cognizant Technology Solutions, and the other guest of honor, Shri Jitendra Singh, Manager Campus Recruitment, Cognizant Technology Solutions, and the other deans of various schools and various roles, and my dear heads of the departments, my dear faculty members, and my dear student volunteers, and especially those who have come from Guwahati to Kanyakumari as a participant for this event, Daksha. Once again, I welcome you, all of you, for this event. Daksha, as stated by the convener, it's a techno-cultural fest and is an endeavor to provide a platform to all students to showcase their skills and develop their potentials via arts, sports, music, dance, drama, debates, etc. Whatnot, everything is there that you are going to witness today. Today, extravaganza extends participation of students from diverse backgrounds across the country. That's what I said. The convener has told me yesterday that the participants have come from Guwahati to Kanyakumari. So really we feel that, today the Anurag University, really it's a memorable day for Anurag University because we have got the students from across entire the nation. As the Dean of this esteemed university, I am honored to address you today. Every year, the students of Anurag University, with a lot of energy, excitement, enthusiasm, and with a meticulous plan, organizes this techno-cultural event, Daksha. I am confident that Daksha 3.0 allows the student community across the country to explore their creative and artistic sensibilities and thus provide a platform to exhibit their talents. I am happy and proud to know that the participants came from Guwahati to Kanyakumari. Again, I am repeating this because I am overwhelmed by this statement given by the convener. And the Anurag University strongly believes the fest of this kind provides a platform for students to showcase their unique talents and are important in the holistic development of the personality of students, providing a break from the routine prospects of evaluation and academics. Since its inception, the campus has been supplemented by the vibrant activities of diversified clubs and professional chapters. I am glad and proud to place before all of you that the university is ranked 3rd in research, 6th in placements by Times of India, a rank band of 150 in NIRF. All engineering departments and the School of Pharmacy are accredited under Tier 1 or re-accredited under Tier 1 by NBA for 3 years recently. And the Department of CSE recently re-accredited under Tier 1 for 6 years. The AU has a track record of more than 1,500 placements every year by leading IT and core companies. I strongly believe organizing of events like Daksha brings youth from different places and backgrounds to mingle and learn from each other. This helps in developing better understanding and appreciation. By looking at your enthusiasm in the hall and outside the hall, I have no doubt that Daksha is a celebration that ignites our spirits and fuels our creativity. At last, but not least, I would like to thank the entire Daksha team and especially the student volunteers and coordinators for struggling hard with a meticulous plan in organizing this event by promoting around 130 activities across the entire nation. So let us give a big applause for the entire Daksha team. My best wishes to all in making the event a grand success. My dear students, come out of your regular academics and let's make this opportunity to reflect, create and inspire and the event make a grand success. Thanks for giving this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now invite the guest of honor, Chinda Subramaniam sir, to address the gathering.
I thought your professor would speak first. You have changed the order. Hello. Yeah. Thank you for making me feel uncomfortable and caught unaware. Good morning, everybody. First of all, it's an honor, Dr. Prakash, knowing you. Glad I had the 10-minute interaction. I wish it was more than that. I look forward for it. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure knowing you as an individual and as a role that you're playing, sir. It's an honor knowing you. Dr. Balaji, sir, thank you very much. And also the university, whoever is involved in making sure that I am part of your day, your presentation, your celebration. Thank you very much. It's indeed an honor. And on behalf of Cognizant, I truly feel privileged standing in front of you. Thank you very much. I was very carefully listening to what Mr. Anurag was saying, okay? So I think, sir, you could have used another nice word, explore. That's okay, I'll pick it up from you. First of all, friends, today is all about you, not the first 3 rows. I see like faculty. I know you still are students. I hope you can still call yourself students, right? I do that when I teach in my office. To be very honest, right, these people actually write exam every day, not you. Am I saying something wrong, sir? Because they have the bigger responsibility to ensure they impart knowledge, they share their experiences, and make sure you wonderful people who are going to form the country tomorrow are actually learning the right things. Guru Devo Bhava. Thanks to all of you people. Thank you. And my dear young friends, I think I can also call myself young. I'm the only one person who still has black hair other than Anurag in the dais. We all young friends, probably, it's our day. Let me first start. Let's celebrate ourselves for taking this first initiative. You guys have taken an initiative to participate. Give yourself a big round of applause, folks. Wonderful, right? You just got out of your boredom. You got out of your reels on Insta. I don't know what else. And you are here in the room. Congratulations. Good job. Right? Now, first thing I learned today, right? I have to tell you what I learned. I have to go change my profile in LinkedIn. It was too verbiage, isn't it? I don't know how much time you spent on my profile to condense it to 20 words. I'll make your life easy, okay? That's the first lesson I have learned, okay? I know you guys have copied my LinkedIn because I know where you get it. I'll promise you by the end of tomorrow you will see a fresh profile there. If you want to follow me, Subramaniam Chinta, you can just pick me there. Well, this is the case, right? After 3rd row, none of you are born when I was a student. 1990, I'm an engineering student, I started. Is that a fair statement? Yeah, I think so. The first thing that I think of is, right, dare to dream. Very difficult. Dare itself is a difficult thing because you have a fear of failure, isn't it? I expect some people to at least nod, okay, whether it's a acceptance or a disacceptance. Otherwise you can't, I hate being silent in the room. I'm a noise guy. When you dream, what basically happens is, right, in what my 30 years of career tells me is, you have to be passionate, and what it basically the outcome will be or should be is, you become a winner. Winner is not just a success outcome or a failure outcome. Don't just get bogged down by outcomes, please. It's a journey. What is more important is what have you put in and what did you go through the process. So if I have to summarize, right, I'll tell you about a small story. Anurag sir, when you were a mechanical engineering student, I know which year you passed out. You had a subject on robotics?
Yes.
It was in 4th year, as a part of theory of machines.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So course syllabus hasn't changed much. So when I was a student in 1990 to 1994, in my 2nd year, that means, first year, standard topics, right? English, maths, physics, and all that. 2nd year is when you actually hit your core subjects, okay? Sorry, non-engineering folks, I might bore you with technical terms here, but you can relate to your respective tracks. So 2nd year engineering, I'm talking about 1990, we used to have these notice boards outside the, in the floors. So there was one nice poster that said, we invite technical papers on the following topics. And the only topic that I could read and I stuck was robotics. 2nd year engineering, and who can understand this engineering, mechanical engineering, I'm talking about 1990 course curriculum where robotics was one topic, chapter, in a big topic called theory of machines. So probably it's like it comes and goes, right? That's how the The class is done. Now I'm an idiot. I truly am an idiot. I got stuck there, and I see this on December 5th, 1991. And the bottom it says, submit your technical paper by 25th December 1991. So practically I have 20 days. Is it feasible to publish a technical paper in 20 days, Anurag sir?
Not for my knowledge.
Okay, we'll see what happens now. So I go, Chinta to Dean, Dean to Chinta, right? So I don't believe in faculty, senior professors, right? So enthusiasm, raw energy, right? I go stand up in queue outside my dean's office, and then I ask him, boss, what can I do for you? He says, I asked him, boss, can you teach me robotics? I want to write a technical paper. Stupid process, right? How can anybody ask like this? That's why I said I'm a stupid student. He guys looked at me from top to bottom. I'm sure you will also have these experiences. Don't blame the faculty. He looked at me from top to bottom and said, which year? I said, second year. Go attend your classes. First crash, right? Professor, assistant professor, senior lecturer, everybody, 2 days in the corridor, this fellow is running, everybody, the response is the message is the same in different words and voices. There is one guy who just completed, MTech from IIT, joined us as an assistant faculty support on probation, okay, who was young and handsome like Anurag Sarondas, okay, and I'm sure he's equivalent to you, probably he might be a little younger than you. He looked up to me and said, what man, why are you running around the corridor for the last 2 days? Whenever you have interval, you are here, your lunch break, you are here, morning 10 minutes, you come here early. What the hell is happening? So I said, boss, I want to write a paper on robotics. He first looked at me and said, is this guy mad? Second year, he doesn't even understand theory of machines. He doesn't even know strength of materials. He doesn't even know what happens when fluid mechanics kicks in. And he wants to write a paper on robotics. So he said, okay, fine. I don't want to discourage you. I will tell you what robotics means. The rest is your headache. Okay, chalo, kuch to acha hua. Right? So he tried his best, but this dumb idiot took almost 1 week to understand robotics. Fair chance, at least he understood something. And then he gave me one nice manual, which is a reference document from library, and said, you refer this, it will tell you something. He didn't say anything. And then he left, exit. Now when I see that there was one paper, a complete analysis on kinematic analysis of robotics. So robotics, if you know, it has got kinematic analysis, dynamic analysis, and electronic system, 3 stages. So I saw a 7-link arm completely analyzed on the book. I took another 1 week to understand it. In 14 days gone, another 5 days to go, either you give up or do something simple, right? Now this idiot embarks himself on a journey to make his own 7-link arm. Stupidity has to have a limit. In the next 5 days, I created my own 7-link arm where in computer science, only Fortran is taught. Probably second year engineering, third year engineers gets to learn C. Those are the days. And today you have nice computing languages and all to help you compute a 4x4 matrices, right? So here is a 7-link arm that has got alpha, theta, gamma, cos thetas and all. Where a 4x4 matrix has got 12 elements, 7 such matrices multiply human with pen paper. Imagine the trouble. Alpha, gamma, theta, cos thetas and everything involved, all the trigonometry involved, all the basic principles which my mathematics teachers tried to teach me, which I never learned, very applied. I get my own 7-link arm in 4.5 days. Now the problem is big. Today you want to talk to somebody who's sleeping other side of the world, you just text. And the guy says, bye baba. Right? Those are the days where, for you to physically send a paper from Vijayawada to Mangalore, which is at the west coast, it takes 72 hours. So I come to Hyderabad, pester my father, what is the best way I can post this? And I post it, and it goes, I post on 25th December, Christmas. So there's no guarantee that it will reach before 1st January. Still I post. The only thing I took away was, kuch to kiya. And I forgot. because I was already late. Somebody above is watching, right? He's a smart cookie. 5th February, I get a letter saying that out of 125 papers we received, we shortlisted 15. Congratulations, come and present your paper. First flavor of success, isn't it? You can see goosebumps in my eyes even now as I narrate the story. It doesn't end here. I go to Mangalore. The first thing I do is hit the sea. Stupid, right? You should go into the campus, find out what is there. No. Dump your luggage, go to the sea, have nice fun in the sea, come back next day morning, go present. And when I see the remaining 14 people, all of them 4th year IITs who have seen better world than my engineering life. What do? You have to face the challenge now. They have a better education because they have seen 3 years of engineering life. They have read better because they have seen better professors than my college. And here a stupid guy from Velagapudi Ramakrishna Siddhartha Engineering College walks away with a winner prize. What does it tell? The purpose of narrating this story is not to brag about myself. Winners put effort even when it hurts. Never give up. Please, never give up. Don't get judged by what you go through. All the professors in my life till now have played a role in my success in some form or other. The same very head of the department came and hugged me and said, "You did wonderful." And he facilitated me with the best possible way in that college, and I can still remember that day even now. I'm narrating something which you were not even born, and I lived before that. Right? That's the takeaway I have. The second thing I want to tell, which is fast forward 2024, and more importantly 2027, when all of you will start hitting the industry, right? How many of you are scared about, your job, employability, career? How many of you are scared? Okay, how many of you are anxious? Let's graduate the anxious. Okay, how many of you think that kya hoga? Pata nahi. Okay, let me tell you, kuch nahi hoga. Don't worry about it. What is important is, what do you learn? There is ample opportunities in the industry, I can assure you of that. With all my 30 years, this is my 30th year in career, I can assure you, sky is not going to fall if you do a mistake. Because I have done multiple blunders that you couldn't even think of in these 30 years, and we still have a sky. It's intact, right? So please don't stop yourself from doing mistakes. Go make mistakes, don't do blunders like me. What is extremely important is, how do we learn better? In today's world, which is disruptive in nature, the technology that is there today doesn't exist tomorrow. The geopolitical economic conditions are fast changing, extremely demanding. It is important that we are adaptive. And for that, there is no room to look at the other person and say, damn it, how can this be my competition? There is no competition. You become the competition. So let's learn from everybody around us. I mean, the first thing I do is I go ask if I have a problem to my colleague. When every year an appraisal happens to me, he is my competitor. But we don't see like that because we fight. That's a different story for our careers. But what is more important is, what is your journey? Where are you performing? So what are you learning? So the best thing I would suggest you people is, let's start learning from others. You can do better mistakes. You don't have to repeat the same mistake, at least, right? And there is an enormous opportunity for us, and we become a better champions when we see others, right? So please, one word of suggestion or advice that I can leave with you people is, there is no room for competition because you become the competition. Think about those lines. And I'll just take a minute and pause before you show me the time. Please, please, please celebrate, right? That is the best way you can feel proud that you have accomplished something. Take a mic, tell others about your failure. Nothing wrong. Others will at least do a better job, and they will give you a stronger ride so that you are stronger when you face them again. right? Celebrate your success and failure irrespective of that. With that few thoughts that I wanted to share you people, I once again would like to thank sir for including me here, and I wish every one of you a successful career, fun time, and more importantly, you celebrate yourself and learn in the process. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We now invite Dr. Balaji Utla, Registrar, Anurag University, to address the gathering.
It's always tough to talk after something that is very impactful. After the dessert, there's nothing much to give except a small pan. So let me see if I can do something about it. Dr. Chauhan, Chinta Subramaniam Garu, Professor Muttareddy Garu, my all senior colleagues and deans who are here, and my professors who are here, young students, aspirants with stars in the eyes, may not be anxieties, but stars in the eyes and dreams in the hearts. So a warm welcome to all of you to Anurag University, the happening university. Give yourself a big like Subramaniam Garu said, many of us are not afraid of making mistakes. Like my colleague who made a mistake than me.
Just challenge me. I'm happy about it. Don't try this.
Yeah. No, that's how things happen, right? So penicillin, which saved millions of people, was an accident. So let me share with you. We have a plan to organize an international conference on failure. Talks about success. Nobody talks about failure. We are trying to talk to Amy Edmondson of Harvard School, whether she would like to be the keynote address speaker for us, because she did a fantastic job in terms of writing a book on failure. So at Anurag, failures are an opportunity, stepping stones for learning and going forward. Anyway, you know the word Daksha. Daksha in Sanskrit means competence or skill, right? Now, skill and competence, whenever we talk of Techno Fest. By definition, and everything else is called, in IT companies, they call Americas as one. Rest of all countries, they call ROW, rest of the world. They have no identity. So I would like to break that and then give you a small opportunity to think about it. At Anurag, we talk about a 360-degree development of a product. Now, as I come from the IT industry, we are very famous for a TL, three-letter acronyms. You always hate it, you don't know what they are. They call it, anything is TLA, three-letter acronyms. All of you as young people would like to grow professionally. That's your goal. Your professional growth depends on an important P called principles. When in a university, we don't talk about principles, what you stand for in life. Very many times, in the cutting edge, in the moment of truth, your principles will save you. So, we don't teach it. Some of us learn it from our professors who are very principled. So that is the base. If you look at an axis, if professional growth is on top, I wish I had a slide to show, on the bottom, your principles. So principles and professional growth are connected. I'm not going to open all of them up. We have a much detailed kind of a presentation on that. The other two dimensions that are very important is your physical fitness and your psychological fitness. Two P's we call. Physical fitness, psychological fitness. Many of us play games, some of us don't play games. But today, India and many developing countries in the world that you live in or you are going to be living in is going to be tougher than some of the world that we lived in. For us, there were physical challenges. Power wouldn't be there, fans wouldn't be there, light wouldn't be there. We never know power would come and all. But the psychological stress was much, much lower. But today's generation, the distractions are too many. Like Vishwamitra had Menaka, you have Menaka in the form of some electronics in your pocket, a small one. It constantly keeps distracting you, bula kind of a thing. So it's a tougher world that you live in compared to the world that we lived in. We hardly had anything much to look at. So the other two pieces that I talk about is physical fitness. Of course, we have sports and games and all of that. But look at yourself psychologically also. Your mental well-being is very important. You have to be at peace with yourself, love yourself as much as you love the compassion. It's okay to fail, like he said. Sometimes even God failed. I think so. I'm a non-believer. Because he created imperfect human beings like us, if he or she, whoever it is. But in any case, that's on the side. So there are two dimensions. First, I said, to be professionally successful, you require principles to balance. To build yourself, your base, adhisthanam we call, you require wellness and physical fitness. And two more pieces I'll talk about. And with that, I'll just end with one shloka or something. Oftentimes, our ability to build relationships, Techno Fest, all these things allow you to connect with people. Human being is a herd animal. The biggest punishment that you can give to human beings is to isolate them. That's why parents say, no television for you, that's one part of it. Go sit alone in a corner. So isolation is the biggest punishment that anybody can be given. No man is an island, they say. Of course, no woman is an island. Building people skills is very important. So build that. As much as important to learn Python, the P, learn people skills. That's as important. On the other side, none of us are taught. We all learned very, very late in our life how to manage your paisa. Financial literacy is as important as your ability to code. If you are smart with your money, the money will double. With the principle of 72, principle of 114, principle of 144, your money can, like he was saying, his company was growing at 30% per annum. That if your growth is 26% per annum, every 3 years you double your turnover. If your money is growing at that level, so imagine, nobody teaches you inflation. I'm not going to give you a lecture on that. Keep an eye on paisa. Lakshmi is important. As much as Saraswati is important, you should balance Lakshmi and Saraswati together. In a knowledge economy, Saraswati leads to Lakshmi. Right? So, Anurag University is something like a foundation of Saraswati. So, he talked about failure and all that. I did share. Dare to dream is, of course, you should dare to dream. There's a Telugu saying, Uhallo daridra muddu. Don't have poverty in your thinking. In reality, there may be poverty. I may be poor. But in thinking, don't be poor. At least in imagination, don't think without constraints and see where it takes you. All right? So, about people skills, I'll just tell you one shloka, just remember that. Your tongue is communication of speech. It says, Jihvagre vartate lakshmi. In the edge of your tongue is money. If you talk nicely, you'll get money. Jihvagre mitra bandhavaha. At the tip of your tongue are friends and relationships. Jihvagre bandhana prapti. If you say something stupid, you may be put in jail. In some countries at least, fortunately not in India yet, but some of the youngsters, their Twitter accounts are impounded and all that's happening now. But life is like that. Yeah. And lastly, Jihvagre maranam dhruvam. In some countries you say something, like I said, I'm a non-believer. In a neighboring country, if I said that, definitely they would hang me. So, your tongue is very important. Jihvagre vartate lakshmi, Jihvagre mitra bandhavaha, Jihvagre bandhana prapti, Jihvagre maranam dhruvam. So, learn to control your tongue, you'll control the world. The simple saying in Telugu, Noru manchedi, uru manchidi. If you speak sweetly, the whole world also will be nice to you. Alright? Have a wonderful time, have fun. Some of the time we'll get an opportunity, we'll expand on these 6 P's. Thank you very much for the opportunity. A small announcement I wanted to make. Our chairman would have loved to be here. He started to come to this function. He loves this institution, he loves this function. Unfortunately, one of his legislative colleagues met with a ghastly accident I am told that person is serious, or I don't know whether the person has passed away. So he had to go, and that unfortunately couldn't come. He sent his best wishes to all of you. Yeah. So he's a man of people. So he has to be with people. If something goes wrong, a public representative must go there. So he just shared his message of. He suggested that all of you have fun. He couldn't come. He sent his regrets. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. We now invite our chief guest, Dr. Prakash Chauhan, to address the gathering.
Good morning to you all. Namaskar. Colleagues on the dais, Professor Balaji, the guest of the honor today, Mr. Chinta Subramaniam Garu, Mr. Singh, Mr. Anurag, all other senior faculty members, all faculty members sitting in front row, and the most importantly, the young minds, heroes of the day, for which this Techno Fest function has been organized. My greetings to each one of you. My greetings to each one of you. And thanks to Anurag University for inviting me over here in this function and to be amongst all of you. So, as all of you are celebrating this Daksha 3.0, which is a celebration for your skills, for your knowledge, as well as for a fun-filled next 2 days, I congratulate each one of you on this occasion, and especially previous colleagues have said most of the things which I wanted to say. So this is the disadvantage of speaking the last. But that you have already come to know that what has been unfolded and what is still remaining. I want to start with the leads which Mr. Chintala and of course Dr. Balaji talked about. Everybody talks today learning from failures, So first thing, which is very important, don't get scared of failures. Failures are there in everybody's life. The only failure which you will have is that if you are not learning from your failures, if you continue to do, same mistakes and you don't learn, that's the biggest failure. I'll tell you the most interesting story about learning from failures, which we have very successfully adopted in our space program. India is having a very vibrant space program. Many of you must have seen last year the successful Chandrayaan 3 landing on the south pole of the moon. But there are a lot of lessons to be learned from that story. 3 years back in 2019, you all must have seen the similar event, which basically resulted in some tears also. And those tears became very famous. But afterwards, there were a lot of learning to be done from that event, that what has really gone wrong. And things can go wrong. Space is known as the last frontier in case of technology, where even 99.999% success is also not success. You have to be 100% onto the target to achieve, what you want to achieve. So a lot of back-end analysis goes, petabytes of data, terabytes of data which comes from these missions after missions on various aspects, the health of the, the hardware, the kind of mechanical systems have performed, the thermal systems have performed, the computer softwares which are basically running these autonomous spacecrafts. All that data will be very carefully get analyzed And then you come to know that what were the real problems of such kind of very complex missions, where you have aerodynamics, where you have mechanical engineering, where you have, the composites, where you have propulsion technology, where you have chemistry, physics, everything going around mathematical modeling. So many, parts of, or so much of engineering comes together to build this type of, complex spacecraft systems. One of the very, silly mistake in that mission was that the software, which basically was written, had some issue with, what is we call as the version management, So the final version, which was basically to be put on the spacecraft's computer, had some very small silly bugs, Even a function like absolute function, kind of thing has created a problem where, the thrust has to become negative. Somebody has put an ABS around that parameter, and that's why, it costed some part of the mission. But that was not only the small mistake, there were certain other issues related to the propulsion systems and other things. So all that analysis basically was done. A lot of learning came out of those missions. And of course, before doing the real thing, you need to have practice. You need to have tests. So this time, multiple tests were done in the Earth environment as if you are going to land onto the moon itself. So, there is a saying that practice makes a man perfect. So before you go to the final exam, you have to do rehearsal 1, 2, 3, 4, So that's one of the most important aspect is whatever you are going to do simulations. Today is the world of simulations. We are blessed with very high computing powers. We are blessed with, software systems which are available to you generation, especially in this generation, to do all kind of system simulations before you finally, embark onto a real mission. So with all these learnings and with the failures of past, and the learning which came out of these missions, we had this real fantastic mission this time where most of this, whatever knowledge which was not there or knowledge gaps were there, all were encapsulated. And then we had this first of its kind of mission where you all have seen that what kind of international attention it has gone. And people have started believing the ability of Indians, as a country. You see, it's not just a landing event for a country like India. It basically gave a confidence to this population of this country. Yes, we can do it. What others have not done, in so many years. There was an interesting episode which happened. You must have seen that suddenly, from nowhere, the Russians came into picture. And they told that before India lands, we will put our lander onto the south pole of the moon and we will not allow these fellows to become the first country. And you remember, Russia was the first country to put a lander onto the moon surface in 1967 itself. They have done it, almost 50 years back or so. But you see, it's a technology. It's a game which basically very complex. And suddenly, 2 days before our landing happens, the news came that the Russian spacecraft could not successfully land. It basically got into some technical glitches and it basically crashed onto the moon surface. So the question is that when very advanced powers like Russia or even recently Japanese have attempted one landing, they successfully landed, but their lander toppled after the landing. So what do you learn? You learn not only the technological thing, but you also, give a very wide message to the international community that as a country, don't take us lightly now. The psychology of this country has been, dented multiple times in the history of this country because of invasions, because of multiple things. India used to have 20% share of GDP before the British came to this country. And when the British left this country, we had less than 1% of GDP. That kind of loot and mayhem was done by these people onto our people. Not only financially, it also has dented our psychological thinking capability that we can do something, So, that is what's done. That was the objective of the education policy which was basically adopted by the British in India, to psychologically keep you down and allow that thought to go into your mind that we are basically inferior to many of the people in the world. all those apprehensions, all those many years of curses, they, in my opinion, they all got wiped off by one single event when we could show to the world that being a developed country, being a country which has less, per capita income, but, with the ability, the talent pool, and the kind of management skills which we have developed in our organization, we are the one who can achieve it. And that not only ISRO has achieved it, as a country we could show that we, all of you, has all that capability and you are inferior to none in this world in achieving if you decide to achieve a goal. That was the biggest lesson we learned from this event. And mind you, that after such events, when before this we had the Mangalyana mission, the mindset of the global players that got changed. The people, those who were blocking certain key technologies to come to India, they were the one who were behind us to collaborate. And then you will see that in the month of May itself, we are developing a spacecraft with NASA. The same NASA which was blocking certain key technologies not to come to India. You all must have seen movies made on cryogenic engines and things like that. With the world which was in denial phase is now very willingly coming to India and wants to work with us. It is simply because we have proven our might. And that's what I want to tell you to young people, that, in next 10, 20, 30 years, when you guys are going to, rock, and when you will have your, careers will bloom, you will see that the Indians coming out of this country, the most educated people will be basically ruling the world. That's how I have no doubt in saying that. So be prepared for such challenges. Challenges will be there, not only challenges within the country, but you all have to face the international challenges today. You also have the demographic dividend with us. We have very young population. We have, young mindsets. There are countries, advanced countries in the world like Japan and all. They are aging countries. So that demographic dividend is also there with us. And the Indians are also having, the very high talent pool on technologically educated people. All this university system with the kind of degrees our boys and girls are going out, they are doing phenomenally well when it compares to the other international peers. Some of you have already witnessed. Many of our, Indian origin people are CEOs of big companies today. So the future is going to be very bright. But, to sustain that bright future, you need to also, as he told, you have to keep your dreams very big, At least you should not be miser as far as your thought process is concerned. That's the most important aspect. Think big. Your dream should be big. There is no harm in dreaming big. At least if you dream big, you will be able to achieve 10%, 20% of that dream. But if you think small things in life, naturally you are not going to go anywhere. So do that. And the most important thing is that enjoy your work. If you are not enjoying particular work, either you are an engineer or a bioscientist or a data scientist or a chemical engineer or maybe a musician, put your 100% into that. If you are not doing that, then the success is not going to come. The only mantra of our success is that give your best. Then you will really excel in whatever field you are working. And the most important part, which Professor Balaji has told you about, keep yourself into a very good state of mind and body. That's the most important aspect. See, I was reading somewhere else 2-3 days back, and it says in life only 2.5 things, not even 3 things. 2.5 things are the most important for any human being. What are those 2.5 things? The first is your mental health as well as your physical health. That's most important. If you are not able to keep it up, and today we see, the lifestyle of the youngsters, I see in my home also, my own children, many of them have got into the habit of sleeping too late, They are, on phones and all till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. This is not sustainable, over a long period of time. When you are young, when you are in your 20s or so, you can manage. But as you grow, it becomes very difficult. So keep very balanced, lifestyle where you have enough time, for taking rest. So the second thing, which is most important, is a healthy 8-hour sleep. If you are not sleeping properly, the next day is going to be a mayhem. It's going to be a ruined day, actually, I can tell you that. So number one is the health. Number two is a good 6 to 7 hours sleep. And rest is all that 0.5 in the life. So if these two things are not fixed, if you have problem with these two things, then that all 0.5 thing is not going to happen. So keep that in mind. This is the most important aspect in life. You just talk to people who has, got, the health issues, serious health issues. They may have a lot of money. They may have, crores of rupees, but they cannot enjoy those rupees. They cannot enjoy that wealth. So health is the most important aspect. Especially I see that the younger generation, as the physical activity goes down more, where basically our youngsters are getting into more of virtual domain. That is where we feel that as a country we should basically give a lesson to our young people that, that Menka, which Dr. Balaji talked about, you should try to have some balance out of it. In earlier days, people used to keep fast, to keep this body healthy. Nowadays, there is something called the digital fasting. So you have to have some digital fasting. So at least some 5 hours, 6 hours, you try to avoid your electronic gadgets so that you can focus on some other aspects. And lastly, enjoy your work. And in our new education policy, the work has to be enjoyed, or the technical component also has to be enjoyed, along with other co-curricular activities. We used to think that we have given that work name co-curricular, but this all has to be part of your system. If you're a good engineer, you should have some ability to learn music. If you are not into music, you should have the ability to write and basically do some other creative activities so that you can excel in your work. I will give you one very basic example. You must have seen, which has been told by the CEOs of the, one of the big IT company of US. Many of you are using Apple products. Why you are using Apple products? Apple, mobile looks, much more trendier compared to many other mobile phones. The Apple MacBook also looks much more, aesthetically much better than any other computer system. So what was told by the CEOs of, or the whosoever were the helm of affair of Apple, that they will take a very high quality engineer, but that high quality engineer should also be a very good musician, or he also should be a very good artist, or he should have some creative art, hobbies. So in India, we have made these bifurcations, science, engineering, arts, commerce and all. World doesn't work like that. World doesn't work in compartments. If you are good in science, you also should have some ability to do some creative thinking so that you can come out of best of the things. And such kind of, thoughts process is now being supported in our new education policy. I'm sure that in academic institutions, we will take enough efforts or enough steps to inculcate some of this newer concept. We have lived enough in silos. Now we need to break the silos. Today's world is a multidisciplinary world. Start some programs for these young guys where they can do some multidisciplinary activities so that the learning becomes more effective. So with these words, I don't want to prolong too much and then give a lot of gyan, because this is the time for enjoying and then have to have some fun outside. But I'm sure that with these 2 days, today and tomorrow, you all guys are going to have a lot of learn something every day and learn from others also, as was being told, especially in different subjects. That will make you a much better person who comes out of the college system and when you goes to industry or wherever you work. With these words, wish you all the best for these next 2 days. Thank you very much for inviting me over here, and I wish all the students a grand success in their future careers. Thank you.
Thank you for your words of wisdom, sir. We would also like to thank all the dignitaries for addressing the gathering today.
Dear gathering, now we will be releasing the souvenir. We request the dignitaries to do the honors.
Dear audience, I request everybody to settle down. NSS volunteers, kindly. I request everybody to settle down fast.
All the students kindly settle down. In the last, kindly settle down fast. Students kindly settle down.
Thank you, everyone. We now request the dignitaries to felicitate the chief guest and the guest of honor.
We now invite the student convener to give the vote of thanks.
Good morning to ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and participants and the dignitaries present over here. I am Resocho Sahita and she is Mukku Pujita. As we bring the inaugural session of Daksha 3.0 National Level Techno Cultural Tech Fest Day 1 to a close, it's my privilege to extend a heartfelt vote of thanks to all who graced us with their presence and made this ceremony a truly memorable one. First and the foremost, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Prakash Chauhan, our chief guest, Mr. Chinta Subramaniam sir, and Mr. Jitendra Singh, our guest of honors, for honoring us with their presence today. Your presence has added immense value to our inaugural ceremony, and we truly grateful for your support and encouragement. As we embark on this 2 days journey of innovation, creativity and celebration, let us carry forward the spirit of camaraderie and collaboration that defines Daksha 3.0. Together, let us make the most of this opportunity to learn, grow and connect one another. Once again, thank you to everyone who has contributed to the success of the inaugural ceremony of Daksha 3.0. Here's to a fantastic day 1 and even more remarkable day 2. Thank you once again.
I request everybody to make way for the dignitaries.
It's okay. As long as you all make the stage, I wait. Just give it a chance. You guys are done. Thank you, sir. Don't worry.
student convener, to give the vote of thanks.
लास्य विलसिता नवनाट्य देवता प्रमुखी
गुणशैली शरीराय गुणमण्डिताय गुणेशानाय धीमहि गुणातीताय गुणाधीशाय गुणप्रविष्टाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि एकदन्ताय वक्रतुण्डाय गौरीतनयाय धीमहि गजेशानाय भालचन्द्राय श्रीगणेशाय धीमहि
तकदिन तक्किट तकजं तगणं तद्दिङ्गण्णत्वं तक्किट तकजं तगणं तद्दिङ्गण्णत्वं धीं तकिटतं दत्तं किडतकिडतं तदीं तकिटं दत्तं किडतकिडतं दिद्दिनकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिडतकिड